Other than Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, your testimony in the Senate and here is that according to the evidence you have, the number of other names is 0.
That were charged based on credible evidence.
Well, who are the other names? Give me the other names that weren't charged. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I begin, I want to caution my colleagues on, one-sided violence in this country. We just heard that there were no riots on the right. We're literally sitting in the building where there was a giant riot by supporters of the president, the right. We also heard that only leftists, have said that Trump is a Nazi. In 2016, the current vice president of the United States said, Trump is either a cynical asshole or he's America's Hitler. And so this is the problem. I don't want to have to say this garbage, but you want me to sit here and get painted with one brush, the whole left. No, there are extremes on the left, and there are extremes on the right. And we collectively should tackle that. But to come here and just look at us and say we all support what's going on in the extremes is why we can't solve anything in this building. Director, let me say first, thank you for being here, and my condolences on the loss of your friend. And I'm happy to hear that you want to do more on the social media platforms. It's crazy what's going on the social media platforms. There are so many conspiracy theories on what's going on with Charlie Kirk. Israel assassinated him, right? There are conspiracy theories about your personal social life all day. It is totally rampant. Big names on the right, Candace Owens, right? Talking about how what's been released as far as the dialogue between the perpetrator and his roommate is manufactured by the FBI, manufactured by the administration. It is totally rampant, allowing foreign governments to just perpetrate these platforms, all of these bots, all of the time to weaponize Americans. You see what's going on here? This is a byproduct of all of that. What's going on in the streets is a byproduct of all of that. What's happening is you see people celebrate Luigi Mangione is a byproduct of all of that. And so if we want to do something, then we should talk about Section 230. We should talk about how we're going to make sure that we don't let foreign governments poison our children's mind. And so I will work with you on that, Director.
I'll work with you on 230 any day.
No problem. So now, that was the good part. I want to take your attention back a second, okay? Breaking news. Kash Patel is nominated to be the FBI Director. Dan Bongino is nominated to be the #2 at the FBI. MAGA celebrates, rejoices, bells are ringing out. The team, Patel, Bongino, that sought out every podcast microphone to talk about the Epstein list. The names are finally going to get released. It begins. They produce white binders. Phase 1 with the podcasters. This is not actually one of them, of course. I made this. Your name's on it, right? And the names are going to come out. Pam Bondi says the list is on her desk. Then a memo comes out all of a sudden and says, there's no list. Oh, no Phase 2. Phase 2 binders never happened. You said the conspiracy theories around Epstein just aren't true. They never have been. And yesterday, in an answer to Senator Kennedy, you said the FBI is not in possession of any credible evidence that Epstein trafficked girls to anyone but himself. So according to your testimony yesterday and in this committee, according to the evidence the FBI has, the number of names on the list are 0.
No,
zero.
The index has been released, and the number of people involved in that trafficking operation were charged in 2008.
Other than Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, your testimony in the Senate and here is that according to the evidence you have, the number of other names is 0.
That were charged based on credible evidence.
Well, who are the other names? Give me the other names that weren't charged.
We are not releasing the names of anyone because the Department of Justice never does that, of anyone that didn't have any credible information to attack them.
Let me move forward. The president has, you've seen the picture of the woman's body with the writing and the president's signature. The president says that's not his. okay? President says it's not his, the Republican colleagues say it's not his, the administration say it's not his. Will you be opening up an investigation into the Epstein estate for putting out a fake document with the president's signature linking him to the world's largest pedophile ring? Will you be opening that investigation into that?
On what basis?
On what basis? They literally put out a fake document, according to the president, with a fake signature. It's a forgery of the president of the United States signature. That's the basis.
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay, I look forward to that investigation. Oh, am I over?
Aside from Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, your statement here implies that based on the evidence available, there are no additional individuals, zero, who were formally charged. So then, who else appears in those records? Identify the individuals who were not prosecuted. September 17th, 2025. Inside a House Judiciary Committee session. Representative Jared Moskowitz of Florida had remained present throughout the entire proceeding. For hours, he observed Patel respond to inquiries regarding the Epstein-related materials. He witnessed evasions, carefully worded legal responses, and repeated mentions of judicial constraints and prior agreements shielding prosecution. When his turn arrived, he approached with a distinct strategy. He began by establishing context. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before addressing my main point, I want to highlight concerns about politically skewed narratives around violence in this country. Moments ago, it was suggested that unrest has only come from one side. Yet we are seated in a building that was overtaken during a major riot led by supporters aligned with the political right. Additionally, claims were made that only liberals have labeled Trump in extreme terms. Back in 2016, the current vice president publicly remarked that Trump was either a cynical individual or comparable to Hitler. This illustrates the issue. I don't want to engage in this kind of rhetoric, but I also won't accept being broadly characterized as part of a monolithic group. Extremism exists across the political spectrum. Both sides have fringe elements, and addressing them collectively is necessary. Painting entire groups with one narrative only prevents meaningful solutions. Director, let me start by expressing appreciation for your presence here today, and I extend sympathy regarding your personal loss. I'm encouraged to hear your willingness to address issues on social media platforms. The current environment online is chaotic. False narratives are spreading rapidly, including conspiracies surrounding figures like Charlie Kirk. Some claim foreign governments orchestrated events. Others speculate endlessly about your private life. The situation has become uncontrollable. Prominent voices, such as Candace Owens, have even suggested that evidence released, like conversations between suspects, is fabricated by federal agencies. These claims are widespread. Foreign actors exploit these platforms through bots and coordinated campaigns, influencing public perception and dividing Americans. The consequences are visible. What unfolds in our communities stems from this digital environment. Public reactions, even the glorification of individuals like Luigi Mangione, are tied to this broader issue. If we are serious about addressing it, then we must consider reforms such as Section 230 and develop safeguards to prevent external manipulation of our population, particularly young people. I am willing to collaborate with you on this matter, Director. Addressing Section 230 is something I fully support. Now, shifting focus. Breaking developments. Kash Patel is nominated for FBI Director, with Dan Bongino selected as Deputy. Their supporters celebrate enthusiastically. These are individuals who actively promoted discussions about the Epstein case across numerous media platforms, promising revelations of hidden names. The expectation builds. Documents are introduced, binders presented as the first phase of disclosures. Social media personalities receive early access. Names are anticipated. Officials claim the list exists and is forthcoming. Then, abruptly, a statement emerges denying the existence of such a list. The anticipated second phase never materializes. You have stated that the conspiracy theories surrounding Epstein lack validity. Yesterday, in response to Senator Kennedy, you indicated the FBI possesses no credible evidence suggesting Epstein trafficked individuals to others. Therefore, based on your testimony here and previously, the conclusion is that the number of individuals identified in connection with this activity is zero. The released index reflects only those charged in 2008. Beyond Epstein and Maxwell, there are no additional prosecutions tied to credible evidence. So again, who are the individuals not charged? Provide those names. The Department of Justice does not disclose identities without substantiated evidence supporting prosecution in order to protect individuals. Understood. Moving on. There was a document circulating, an image of a woman's body with writing and what appears to be the president's signature. The president denies its authenticity. His allies and administration officials also reject it. Will you initiate an investigation into the Epstein estate for distributing what is alleged to be a forged document implicating the president? On what grounds would such an investigation proceed? The basis is clear. The dissemination of a falsified document bearing the president's signature, connecting him to criminal activity. Very well, I will pursue it. I look forward to seeing that action taken. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Here's the significance of what occurred. Moskowitz outlined a sequence of events. Nominations announced, public excitement rises, promises of transparency dominate media discussions. Then come the documents, Phase 1 releases aimed at influencers, followed by a sudden reversal stating no such list exists. The second phase never arrives.
He wasn't being subtle. He was illustrating a pattern: anticipation followed by quiet withdrawal of information. He referenced Patel's own prior statement. The FBI lacks credible evidence of trafficking involving others. From that, Moskowitz concluded that the number of names must be 0. Patel clarified, 0 individuals charged based on credible evidence. That distinction, charged, is critical. Moskowitz immediately focused on it. Who are the others, not charged? Patel reiterated that names unsupported by sufficient evidence are not disclosed. However, that does not equate to those names not existing. There is a distinction between absence of charges and absence of individuals. Patel's position implies that names did surface during investigations, but did not meet the legal threshold for prosecution. Policy dictates withholding those identities. This may be standard practice, but it changes the narrative. The count is not 0, it is 0 prosecutions. That nuance was established on record. The hearing then transitioned to the question regarding the alleged forged document. Patel agreed, in a public forum, to examine the matter. Whether that investigation proceeds remains to be seen. But the more lasting moment came earlier. There are not 0 names, only 0 charges. These are fundamentally different claims. And for the first time during this session, that distinction was clearly articulated. Subscribe and enable notifications.